Hola, bienvenidos a todos. Mi nombre es Jonathan Verdugo. Mis pronombres son él, ellos. Y en el 2018 me gradué con mi degree en comunicación y español. Y ahorita estoy persiguiendo mi maestría en consejería. Y también como Esmeralda, también me voy a graduar este mayo de San Diego State otra vez.
Excelente y felicidades a ambos de ustedes por sus graduaciones que están por venir. So congratulations to both on your upcoming graduations. So great for this part of our session. As I mentioned, we'll have a panel and I'll be asking some questions of Esmeralda and Jonathan so that they can share more with you. And in the chat, we have some congratulations to both of you. Felicidades a los dos.
Gracias.
Orgullosos de ustedes. So to begin us with our panel, Esmeralda and Jonathan, can you talk a little bit about how and why you chose SDSU for academic journey? Entonces, esta parte del panel, estaré haciendo algunas preguntas de Esmeralda y Jonathan y ambos van a responder en español y en inglés. Para comenzar, si Esmeralda y Jonathan podrían compartir un poquito de cómo y por qué decidieron de la Universidad de San Diego State University, que fuera la universidad donde quieren estudiar.
I could go first if you want, Esmeralda. Larry, I see you're also from Long Beach. Welcome. Representing from Long Beach. That's great. For me, when I was choosing where to go to college, I was looking for a school that was diverse and also a school that was kind of away from home. I wanted to have the college experience of being able to live on campus and do that experience. And so SDSU, just from word of mouth, I had heard that it was a pretty good school just when I was in high school. I had never visited the campus before, but once I visited SDSU, that kind of solidified my decision. And that same day, I accepted my decision to come to SDSU. And so I've been here for the last 6 years after deciding to come for my undergraduate career. And so en español, bienvenidos a todos otra vez. Escogí San Diego State por medio de, quería tener la experiencia de vivir y estar en el colegio. Me quería ir fuera de donde vivía antes para poder tener esa experiencia de ir al colegio. Y San Diego State siempre ha sido una escuela que he oído buenas cosas de y que era una buena escuela. Cuando apliqué no tenía muchas esperanzas de ir a San Diego State. Tenía otras escuelas en mente, pero cuando visité el campus durante mi último año en high school, me enamoré con la escuela, me enamoré con todo que tenía que ofrecer la universidad. Decidí ese mismo día de aceptar mi decisión y venirme a San Diego y he estado aquí los últimos 6 años.
Hola, bienvenidos. Sí. I chose SDSU because of the academic opportunities. SDSU is really a great school and the professors are amazing. Also, I really felt really supported as a student. When I was first applying, there was always organizations reaching out from SDSU just to really make me feel that I was welcome. And then it's a really diverse school as well. And I always was looking for that as a student, as a high school student. And the atmosphere is really great. So, ahora en español, yo escogí a SDSU por las oportunidades académicas. Es una escuela muy buena y los profesores son maravillosos. También yo sentía que como escuela SDSU me apoyaba mucho como estudiante. Tienen muchos recursos que están ahí para apoyarnos como estudiantes. Y la escuela es muy diversa y eso es algo que siempre fue muy importante para mí.
Excelente. Gracias. Gracias a ambos. La siguiente pregunta. As a first-year student, what were the main resources and programs that were foundational in your journey at SDSU? La siguiente pregunta que les quiero hacer es, durante su primer año como estudiantes, ¿cuáles fueron los recursos y programas que fueron importantes para comenzar su trayecto at SDSU.
I can go first for this one. So I think as a first year, the main resource that helped me was EOP, the Educational Opportunity Program at SDSU. It's a program for low-income first-generation students. And before I actually started my fall semester, I participated in Summer Bridge, which was when they let us stay at SDSU and they let us take 2 classes, and they really guided us through that process. And it really helped me get used to what college was actually going to be like, and also meet some of my best friends that I have today. And then when school, fall semester and spring semester actually came around, I utilized a lot of the tutoring services that they offered, as well as the counseling services. Robert Guzman is actually my counselor, and he helped me so much with planning my courses and just really applying to scholarships and things like that. And then en español, en mi primer año, un recurso que me ayudó mucho fue EOP. Participé en un programa que era el verano antes de mi primer año, en donde pude tomar 2 cursos y tener la experiencia de ser un estudiante de colegio. Y luego conocí a muchas de mis amistades y ahora todavía tengo esas amistades. También cuando empezó el año, tienen muchos recursos como tutoría, en donde te ayudan con tus clases, y consejería, en donde te ayudan a planear tus clases, y mi consejero me ayudó mucho y me guió con los procesos.
Yeah, very similarly to Esmeralda, I feel like I used many of those services as well. But one thing that I can add to that is my resident advisors and my academic mentors when I was living in the residence hall. And so the resident advisor is there to kind of support you with basically anything that you may have going on, or just anything that may be going, that you may be experiencing in college. And then some floors also have academic mentors. So if you're struggling with a class or need some extra support with your homework, or just any type of academic challenges, academic mentors are also there available. So I definitely used those resources. Most residence halls also have centers where students can go for tutoring, or just to kind of do work, to study. If you need to print something, I know that they usually have different resources available there. So definitely what the residence halls were able to provide students helped me out my first year, along with the things that Esmeralda mentioned. Y so estoy de acuerdo con lo que mencionó Esmeralda de los servicios y recursos que ella usó. Yo también usé mucho de esos servicios también. Pero una de las cosas, aparte de eso, que me ha ayudado mucho fue my resident advisor. I'm not sure how you say resident advisor in Spanish. But cuando vives en los dormitorios, hay una persona que se encarga de tu piso, y con ellos puedes ir si tienes cualquier problema o si necesitas hablar de algo. También cada piso tiene, ciertos pisos tienen academic mentores que te pueden ayudar con cosas que son relacionadas con tu educación o tus académicas. Y dentro de los dormitorios también hay un centro donde puedes ir para hacer tareas, y necesitas tutoría en los dormitorios también. So, usé mucho de esos servicios durante mi primer año, y eso me ayudó mucho también con mis estudios.
Excelente. Gracias vamos por compartir. Thank you both for sharing. And now, so you are now at SDSU. Can you both share a little bit of speak to how you chose your major and what helped you decide, why you wanted to go into that field? Entonces, ya que están en SDSU, si pueden compartir un poquito de cómo decidieron seguir su área de estudios, lo que se llama major, y por qué decidieron irse en esa área.
Yeah, I can do this one first, Esmeralda, if you want. So when I applied to SDSU, I had originally applied as the communication major. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in high school, but I knew that through the communication major, it was pretty broad to my understanding. So I felt as though I would have a little bit of leeway with what I wanted to do. It also seemed very interesting to me because I was interested in media and getting involved that way. And so I ended up, I think in my junior year, I picked up my Spanish major as well. So I ended up double majoring. And I ended up double majoring because I came in with AP Spanish credit. And so I already was kind of halfway into the Spanish program. So I first thought about maybe minoring, but to double major with Spanish, it only required like 3 or 4 more classes. And so I was like, might as well just double major and have both degrees. And so that's how I kind of ended up with my undergraduate degrees. And then throughout my experiences at SDSU with different clubs and organizations that I was involved with, I got really interested in supporting students directly, which is why I am now pursuing my master's in counseling to support students in that way also. And so cuando estaba aplicando para la universidad, no sabía mucho de qué quería hacer. Todavía tenía muchas dudas de qué era lo que quería estudiar y lo que quería hacer en el futuro. Pero sabía que el programa de comunicación era muy, how do you say broad? I think you're mute.
¿Verdad? ¿Amplio?
Amplio, ajá. Y como no sabía exactamente qué era lo que quería hacer, he tenido la oportunidad de poder experimentar con diferentes cosas. Sabía que con el área de comunicación estaba interesado también en media y tal vez como trabajando en esos tipos de trabajo, pero como mencioné también recibí mi bachelor's en español y en cómo recibí mi bachelor's en español también fue porque entré a la universidad con créditos de las clases de AP en high school y por parte de eso ya tenía muchas de las clases completadas y nomás me faltaban pocas clases para recibir el major de español. So es como hice los dos. Y luego por las experiencias que he tenido en la universidad con diferentes organizaciones, empecé a trabajar mucho con estudiantes directamente y es por eso que estoy ahora persiguiendo mi maestría en consejería, dedicándome a apoyando estudiantes en las universidades o en high school también.
Hi, I actually found my major after deciding that, well, I made the wrong decisions for the first couple of times. I actually started as a business major, and then I switched to international business because of the Spanish component. And then I realized I also didn't like that, so I decided to major in Spanish. And then with sociology, I had been taking a bunch of cultural courses such as American Indian Studies, Latin American Studies, and I really enjoyed those. And I feel that sociology really just grasped every aspect that I liked from those courses and put it into a major. So that's how I chose sociology. Ahora en español, yo escogí mis especializaciones haciendo las decisiones incorrectas al empezar la escuela. Es muy común que los estudiantes escojan algo y luego cambien, y eso fue el caso conmigo. Primero estaba estudiando negocios y luego cambié a negocios internacionales porque tienen un aspecto de español. Y luego decidí que quería especializarme en español, y con sociología yo ya había tomado clases como de estudios de Latinoamérica, cosas así, y yo creo que sociología toma todos los aspectos principales que me gustan de sus cursos y lo hacen una especialización.
Excelente, gracias a ambos por compartir sus experiencias, ¿no? Y algo muy importante para estudiantes que están pensando en venir a San Diego State University, para que sepan, tenemos un amplio equipo en diferentes departamentos de advisors o consejeros, consejeras que les puedan ayudar en cada paso de su experiencia en SDSU para ayudarles a escoger las mejores clases y poder guiarles en cuál es el mejor área de estudios, ¿verdad? Basado en sus habilidades y lo que quieren hacer en un futuro, ¿verdad? Y que también es completamente normal cambiar, como decía Esmeralda y Jonathan, las áreas de estudios. A mí me pasó, cambié 2, 3 veces y al final, cuando estudié como undergraduate, hice International Relations y fue la mejor decisión para mí en ese momento, ¿no? Ya en una maestría estudié estudios latinoamericanos, pero fue muy importante tener personas que me guiaran en ese camino. So just briefly was mentioning, as Esmeralda and Jonathan were sharing, it's for folks to know, if you choose to come to San Diego State, we have ample group of advisors in the different departments and with advising and career services and admissions and so forth that can guide you throughout your journey at SDSU to ensure that you're picking the best classes and making the best decisions for you in your academic and professional journey. And also to know it's completely normal to change majors, right? I did it when I was an undergraduate and ended up choosing to study international relations with a focus in political science. That was the best choice for me at that time. And then as a master's degree, I chose Latin American studies to really hone in and focus on that field. So it's, completely fine to do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add something in the chat. So if you do have questions that you wanna add to our Q&A, you can go ahead and begin adding them in the chat and we'll be answering them during our Q&A. So acabo de poner un comentario. Si tienen preguntas que les gustaría incluir en nuestra sección de preguntas y respuestas, pueden ir poniéndolas y ya durante esa sección vamos a estarlas respondiendo. So continuing with our panel for Esmeralda and Jonathan, what advice can you both give and share with incoming San Diego Latinx students and students that are considering San Diego State? So para ambos ustedes, si pueden compartir qué advice, qué recomendaciones les darían a estudiantes que han decidido ya venir a San Diego State o que están considerando en venir a San Diego State.
I can answer. I think the biggest tip I would give to students coming into SDSU is that to really reach out if you need any help. There's so many resources on campus here to support you as a student. And I wish I would have taken advantage of those sooner than I actually did, because they're really here to support you and really make sure that you're succeeding as a student. Ahora en español, yo creo que un consejo que les daría a los estudiantes es que pidan ayuda si lo necesitan. Hay muchos recursos aquí en la universidad que están aquí para ayudarnos y nos pueden ayudar con consejería, con ayudar a escoger una especialización. Hay tantos y no es algo malo pedir ayuda. Es normal y aquí están estos recursos por esa razón.
That's really great advice. I think another thing for me that I would like to advise students is to get involved on campus. At the start of my journey at SDSU, I was having a very tough time finding a community here at SDSU and feeling as though this place was somewhere that I can call home. The transition from being at home and then moving away can be very difficult, but I found that through getting involved with different organizations on campus and finding a community definitely helped me feel more comfortable and feel more confident in myself to do the things that I was hoping to do at the university. So definitely getting involved is something that I always recommend students to do, even if you're in high school now, to get involved in high school also. Ahora en español, una de las cosas que recomiendo a estudiantes cuando vienen a la universidad es que se involucren en diferentes organizaciones. Cuando yo empecé la universidad, tuve muchas dificultades con la transición de venir de high school y moverme a una ciudad nueva y no tener una comunidad aquí. Y por estando involucrado con diferentes organizaciones, me dio más oportunidad de poder crear esa comunidad con mis amigos y tener a esa gente que ha hecho a San Diego State sentir como mi casa. Ahora, a veces cuando voy a mi casa y digo, oh, tengo que ir back home, y digo de SDSU. So, considero SDSU y Long Beach my home. So, involucrándose definitivamente es algo que les recomiendo también.
Excelente, gracias. Gracias a ambos. Y nuestra última pregunta, y vamos a movernos a las preguntas. So our last question, then we'll move into the Q&A section. For both of you, what advice or recommendations can you give parents how to best support students during their time at SDSU? Para ambos, ¿qué recomendación les darían ustedes a padres de familia de cómo mejor pueden apoyar a sus hijas o hijos durante su tiempo en SDSU?
This is a really great question. I feel like something that I may have needed during my time here at SDSU from my parents is just maybe kind of checking in sometimes. Sometimes it can be very hard to, or sometimes when you get into the groove of things, it's very easy for you to kind of forget to call home sometimes, or you get so busy where maybe it'll take like a week for you to call parents and stuff. So if there's one thing I feel like that would have helped me was maybe just having my parents check in on me as well, and putting a little bit more accountability on myself. But then also just kind of there's going to be a lot of changes throughout this time. And so just supporting the decisions of your students. There's going to be lots of things that are going to be new for them. So just being patient with them and supporting the decisions that they're going to be making at SDSU. En español, una de las cosas que yo siento que me podría servir un poco más a mí es al principio de mi estancia aquí en SDSU, como les mencioné, tuve un poco de dificultad de la transición y cuando te pones muy ocupado con las clases y tareas, a veces te olvidas de llamar a casa. So, recibiendo una llamada de mi mamá o de mi papá me ha servido muy bien para poder saber que, ok, estoy bien y estoy haciendo las cosas que tengo que hacer. Y también con eso les recomendaría que siguen apoyando sus estudiantes como lo han hecho hasta ahora. Yo sé que durante este tiempo va a haber muchos diferentes cambios y diferentes oportunidades que les van a venir a sus estudiantes. Siguiendo de apoyarlos con las decisiones que están haciendo aquí en la universidad, porque van a haber muchos cambios durante este tiempo también.
Like Jonathan, I think the biggest thing for sure is to really have a lot of patience with your students. Every student is different. Every student goes through a different process. And I think that when students are in college, it's a really critical time for them. They have a lot to do. They have to choose their classes. They have to pass their classes, choose a major, and they also have to find internships and jobs. So I think just being really patient and supporting them and making sure they know that you're supporting the decisions that they're making is really important. Ahora en español, un consejo que les daría a los padres es que tengan mucha paciencia. Cada estudiante es diferente y tienes un proceso distinto. Cuando están asistiendo a la universidad tienen muchas cosas que hacer, tienen que estudiar, pasar sus clases y hasta trabajar o escoger organizaciones con quien trabajar para su futuro. Es muy importante que los apoyen en sus decisiones y que los dejen saber que están ahí para ayudarles ustedes también.
Gracias a ambos por compartir sus experiencias y y compartir un poco más de qué ha sido su trayectoria, ¿verdad? Aquí en SCSU. So thank you both for sharing of your experiences and in your journey at SCSU. So now we're going to move into the Q&A section, and myself, along with Esmeralda and Jonathan, will be answering your questions. So let's begin with the first question on our chat from Andrea. Andrea wants to know more information about the EOP programs and how to apply to it. So Andrea and others that are interested in EOP, I'm actually going to put in the chat right now the link where you can actually go to the virtual presentation of that EOP did earlier today. And you'll have their website there, so you can get a little more information directly from them what it is. But specifically, if you can email us, we'll connect you with an EOP representative to ensure that you have a direct contact there. And then I don't know if Esmeralda, if you want to share a little bit about how the EOP programs worked and how you got connected with them.
Yeah, so they have a lot of programs, but specifically the two that have helped me have been the tutoring services, which are completely free to EOP students. You make an appointment with the tutoring people and they give you a tutor with whatever class you really need help in. And then the counseling services, I've used them a lot because when I came to college, I didn't know which classes I needed to take or how to go about those things. And my EOP counselor really helped me choose my classes, and also he directed me to more help when I needed it. En español, yo usé muchos recursos de EOP, pero los dos más importantes es la tutoría, en donde es completamente gratis para los estudiantes de EOP y te dan a un estudiante con quien trabajar que te ayuda en tu curso, y también los servicios de consejería en donde me ayudaron a planear mis clases, aplicar a becas, cosas así, y eso me ayudó mucho.
Okay, excelente, gracias. And again, Andrea, if you can email me and I'll make sure to connect you with somebody directly at EOP. We had another question from Daniela, a transfer student for Mesa College, regarding groups from specifically to Brazilian students. So Daniela, also if you can email me, there is a department actually of Brazilian studies that we can connect you to, and other resources that we have on campus. Alexandra, what kind of classes, Esmeralda, did you take in summer before the semester?
I took a communications course and I took a, religious studies course.
And another question, what organizations or peer-led groups helped you to feel supported as a Latinx student? Y más brevemente, para traducir esta pregunta, ¿qué organizaciones o grupos con compañeros les ayudaron a ustedes a sentirse apoyados como un estudiante Latinx en SDSU?
At SDSU, there are lots of organizations that are Latinx based. And so I remember my freshman year, even though I wasn't a business student, there was an organization called HBSA, which is Hispanic Business Student Association. That was the first group that I had kind of joined that was majority Latinx students. It wasn't just for Latinx students, but the majority of the students were. And then along with HBSA, there's also many groups like MECHA, ACHA as well, that have definitely provided lots of support to students and even host some events that support high school students. And so I know through those different organizations, they've definitely made me feel supported as a Latinx student. I'm not sure, Esmeralda, if you have any other orgs to add on there.
You have most of them. I think another one that helped me is the Women's Resource Center. They're so helpful, but there wasn't a direct Latinx resource center like there is today, which I'm really grateful for. We really needed this on campus, but yeah, that's most of them.
Okay. And then for others to know, we have over 200 student organizations on campus, particularly working with Latinx students. There's over 20 organizations, right? So there's several options that you'll be able to look into once you're a student here. There are often there'll be fairs where they'll be providing more information, and we'll certainly be able to have all of the contact information for those organizations at the Latinx Resource Center, so that you can connect with other peers and get involved on campus. As well as I mentioned, the Latinx Resource Center will be the hub where we'll be welcoming you, and you'll also be able to have that sense of community and a sense of home on campus, specifically as a Latinx student. We have another question from Alexandra, who mentions that she's a transfer student and is asking, specifically, what support is there to be able to move from a community college to a larger institution, right? And feeling feeling intimidated, which is something that I can relate to, Alexandra. I went from community college to undergraduate. And the particular question Alexandra has is, she knows that the Latinx Resource Center is fairly new. How can I help students as far as resources? And then, so I'll answer this question, and then if Jonathan, you also want to share more. So la pregunta que nos hace Alexandra es, se siente un poquito intimidada como estudiante que se está transfiriendo, ¿verdad? Del colegio comunitario a una institución, y también yo me conecto con esa experiencia porque yo fui de un colegio comunitario a una universidad, y es muy válida esos sentimientos. So for your question, Alexandra, so within the Latinx Resource Center, we're going to have an array of different resources and services that we'll be directly providing. One of them is a mentorship program for first-year students and transfer students, where we'll actually be providing one-on-one support with a peer coach that will be working with you directly if you choose to be part of that program, the mentorship program. And we'll be providing support throughout your first year. And very similarly, we have different programs at the different centers that we will also be connecting you to, and then particular programs across the university that we'll have information about, that we can connect you as well, so that you have all different options of support. We'll also be in the Latinx Resource Center having spaces for studying and spaces for community building, because we really want to provide a holistic support to students, right? That you are succeeding academically, but you're also thriving socially, emotionally, and physically on campus, right? And that we can provide those different supports to you, particularly as a Latinx student. And Jonathan, I don't know if you have more that you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to say also it's very valid for you to feel that way about coming to a large institution like SDSU. I can let you know that once you're actually here, it feels a lot smaller than it actually sounds like. It really is kind of like a little town or city. And so once you kind of get your routine down, you end up seeing so many of the same familiar faces. Even if you don't know people on campus, you'll recognize the face. And so that always makes it seem a lot more, I guess, not as big. But to kind of speak to your question as well about who you can go to for academic support or anything like that, there is a group called the Transfer Student Outreach Alliance. And I'll share the link here as well. And so they focus on supporting our transfer students also. And so any question that you may have, or just kind of with the transition of, coming to a university from a community college, they definitely provide a lot of support. So I would encourage you to look into their website and maybe even get in contact with them to kind of get a little bit more information about the support that they'll offer for our transfer students.
Yes, great, thank you. We have another question from Andrea, specifically to you, Jonathan. Being from Long Beach, did you take CSU LB into consideration?
Yes, so being from Long Beach, I did take Cal State Long Beach into consideration. It was actually, I was in between SDSU and Cal State Long Beach when finalizing my decisions. I think Cal State Long Beach is an amazing school. The majority of my friends went to Cal State Long Beach, and from their experiences, I've heard many great things. But kind of like I mentioned earlier, I decided to come to SDSU because I wanted to move away from home and have a little bit of that experience of going away for college. And I think ultimately that's what mainly led me to coming to San Diego State, because I viewed Cal State Long Beach and SDSU equally. So I definitely took it into consideration, but at the end of the day, I feel like for what I was looking for from my college experience, I felt as though I would be able to get that from SDSU.
Great. Thank you. So we got a couple of specific questions. From Andrea, are there any scholarships available right now for Latinx students? So Andrea, and anybody else is interested in this question, there is. So two things. What I'm going to ask is if you can email me, and I'll be providing my email, and I can share those scholarships directly with you, the links. Also for everybody, if you are on Instagram, we have an Instagram page for the Latinx Resource Center, which I'll be sharing at the end. And we're actually uploading scholarships that we're coming across throughout the week. And we've got a couple there that are for first-year students. But please email me, and I'll be happy to share those links with you. Alexandra also asked if there's any Latinx art-related groups. And definitely, Alexandra, also please email me, and I'll be able to provide you the links to the art-related groups that we have on campus. We have art groups led by students that are involved in the arts, including this year, our students organized the first Latinx Film Festival. We also have a teatro that's led by Latinx students. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities on campus. Our next question from Judith. I'm a transfer student for fall 2020. Can I take classes on summertime? I am very interested in how I can do that. So Judith, you definitely can. If you email me also, I'm happy to provide you the information for registration and connect you with the appropriate people to help you, assist you. We are in challenging times right now because of the COVID-19 situation, but know that we as a university have transitioned and have put a lot of support mechanisms in place to support our students through this semester, this current semester, as well as the summer. So yes, to your question, you definitely can take summer classes.
Yeah, and Larry shared a link there for registration for summer session as well. So thank you to Larry for sharing that. So that could probably give you some more information about that as well.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Larry, I see here your question. You're looking to minor in Latin American Studies. Where can you find more information in the program and courses? So feel free to email me and I can send you that information directly. There is a website for the Latin American Studies department, and we can connect you with the appropriate person to help you with identifying what you need for the minor. Great. Much appreciate that information. Thank you all. Thank you. Are there any students, student ballet folklorico groups? Ines is asking us. So yes, Ines, there is actually a ballet folklorico on campus that they are active, practicing every week and doing presentations on campus, as well as in events outside of the university. So please feel free to email me, and I'm happy to connect you with them. And Esmeralda also just shared a link for Larry for you for the minor. Great. Well, I think those are all our questions. So let me actually, muchas gracias a los tres por la información y por sus consejos. Espero conocerlos mejor este otoño. Igualmente, Andrea, gracias. Estamos muy emocionados de ojalá que decidan atender a SDSU y poder darle la bienvenida este septiembre. So we're really excited to welcome you all. And if you're still trying to decide to come to SDSU, we are really excited to also provide you any information that might be helpful to make the best decision for you. So I just want to share a couple of pictures. As I mentioned, our grand opening was this February. We actually had our grand opening February 20th with over 300 people. And here's the river cutting with several of the students that were involved, as well as faculty and staff, in the creation of the Latinx Resource Center. So we're really excited was an exciting, powerful event. We had over 300 participants. Professor Ibarra from the Chicana Studies Department, and as you can see here, the president of the university joining us in the opening ceremony. And what I wanted to do here is provide our contact information. So for everybody, feel free to email me. Para todos aquí les quería compartir mi información de contacto para que me puedan contactar. So you have here my direct number, my email address, as well as also sharing our website and the Instagram page that I mentioned, where we're constantly uploading information, so you really can see what we're doing with the Latinx Resource Center and scholarship opportunities. We also have different information that we're uploading for students and current students for resources, as well as some great programming, virtual programming that we've created to support our students this semester. If you have any other questions and folks that particularly were asking questions and I can send direct links to, my email address is ysanchezgarcia@stsu, and as you can see here. And my phone number where you can actually contact me directly is 619-500-6385. And again, our Instagram page is right here. It is SDSU LRC. Feel free to add us and be updated with what we're doing. Y más brevemente en español, como mencionábamos, estamos bastante emocionados de que puedan acompañarnos este septiembre y que se decidan por SDSU, como mencionaron Esmeralda y Jonathan. Es una excelente universidad que estamos muy orgullosos del trabajo que hacemos y que queremos asegurar que su tiempo en SDSU sea uno poderoso y una gran experiencia. Entonces, ojalá se decidan por SDSU. Si tienen preguntas, para los estudiantes que hicieron preguntas específicas, les puedo mandar esta información. Y si tienen alguna otra pregunta que se les venga a la mente esta semana, antes de hacer su decisión, y durante el verano pueden contactarme en cualquier momento. Mi correo electrónico es ysanchezgarcia@stsu.edu, y también para padres de familia. Si hay algún padre de familia que quiere información o quiere tener una conversación para saber un poco más de la universidad y cómo podemos apoyar a los estudiantes, también no duden de contactarme por email, o también me pueden llamar directamente a mi línea, es 619-500-6385. Y en la parte de abajo pueden ver nuestra página de web con más información. Todavía está en desarrollo, todavía nos falta poner más información, pero la página que estamos actualmente actualizando todos los días con información para los estudiantes actuales y también información de becas es en Instagram, que es SDSULRC, donde pueden contactarnos y pueden ver lo que estamos haciendo y cómo estamos actualmente activos en la universidad y apoyando a nuestros estudiantes este semestre. Muy bien, pues si queremos ser conscientes del tiempo para todos. Sé que algunos van a estar participando en otros paneles. So I want to be conscious of time. I know other folks are going to be joining us for other panels. But thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Muchas gracias a todos por habernos sido parte de esta sesión. Un agradecimiento en especial a Esmeralda y Jonathan por compartir sus experiencias y el trabajo que están haciendo para apoyar a estudiantes. A special thank you to Esmeralda and Jonathan. Thank you for joining us and sharing your experiences and everything that you're doing this semester to support Latinx students at SDSU. We really appreciate you. Ya todos estamos en comunicación. Espero poder escuchar de ustedes. Y si tienen preguntas específicas para Esmeralda y Jonathan, durante esta semana también pueden mandármelas y me aseguraré que Jonathan y Esmeralda las reciban. Y pues ojalá que decidan por SDSU. Es una excelente universidad y ojalá los veamos en septiembre. Que tengan muy buen fin de semana. Hasta pronto.